to me. I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
Now, back to the Super Bowl special edition of the Jim and Mickey Show.
Welcome back. I'm Mickey White here with Jim Garrity, and we were just getting into the one thing that everybody is looking forward to on Super Bowl Sunday, the commercials. Now, in my past life, I should say, I spent a great deal of time working in commercials and advertising, so I have personal favorites and stories that go along with a lot of them. But it seems that many of you also had some favorites over the years, as well as some least favorites. What about you, Jim?
Well, readers of The Weed Agency, my novel, will note that there is one segment of the book takes place about a remarkably ostentatious and kind of ridiculous Super Bowl commercial for a soon-to-be defunct .com. That was kind of my attempt to, my attempt was to create, the one time I've ever written something and the idea just flowed out and I didn't really have to think about it. It's as if I was just like channeling some voice of beyond. Featuring Ernest Borgnine, Lenny and Squiggy, bad computer animation, and a ludicrous, it includes all the usual typical elements of a Super Bowl commercial, of a celebrity, a cute dog or a cute animal, the
Budweiser horses.
Exactly. All that kind of stuff put together. And of course,
honestly, Budweiser, for the most part, Budweiser usually wins the Super Bowl. And I say this because year after year, they are able to put out commercials that are memorable. I mean, don't forget the Bud Bowl.
Yeah.
And it was great, Bud versus Bud Light. And I don't know if people realize that, but that game was scored based on their quarterly sales. So,
really?
Yes. So at the end of the Bud Bowl, whoever had won, it meant that was who had the better quarterly sales for the year.
Oh, that's fascinating. I did not know that. I do remember someone observing that when you're betting money on the Bud Bowl, you have a serious gambling problem.
Yes, yes. If you're betting on the Bud Bowl,
that's a time to join the 12-step program.
That might be. But remember, they did the Budweiser frogs.
Yeah.
Budweiser. And I don't do voices, you do, so maybe you could do them better. But I'm just saying, they seemingly, and of course, they've always got something going on with the horses. They have an amazing ad that's going to be playing this year. I've already seen it, and I'll get into why they leak them in a minute because they cost so much to actually buy that time. But there's a reason. It's what we said in the last segment. Everybody in the world's watching. It's the best time to buy an ad. There are ads that have been leaked already. And part of the reason might as well get into this now, is that the reason they leak them early is because they do pay so much for that time. Mm-hmm. And so in order to get the full benefit, now keep in mind, some people are drinking all day. So, by the third quarter, even if they paid $4.5 million for 30 seconds of air, they're not sure who all gets to see it and remember it. But by leaking them early, people have seen them, they're laughing at them, they're looking for them. They're waiting for them, and they've already established they're getting more free, what they call earned media for the spots by simply getting all this free promotion beforehand.
Okay, so in that case, would one of the more infamous advertisers of recent years, GoDaddy, originally known for distinctively TNA commercials, they have already won, I guess they've announced they're pulling, correct?
Yes. I actually just saw the ad for the first time myself earlier this week, and I saw it before they had decided to pull it. Okay. And it was, one of the leaked ads, of course, to drum up all the promotion they can and controversy because it's GoDaddy. They have a commercial that I don't think you've seen yet, have you?
I have it queued up here.
Okay, because I would like you to actually go ahead and watch it and get your reaction to it, because then I will tell you my reaction to it. And go ahead and start watching. The thing about it is, to me anyway, GoDaddy being known for being controversial, this part is not surprising. What is going to be interesting is, since they have now announced that they are pulling it, what they will replace it with, because I will tell you, my first general reaction was not, it was mixed. Let's put it that way.
All right. Live on the Jim and Mickey Show, I am about to watch the GoDaddy Super Bowl ad. Dave, have the 7-second delay ready just in case it's as bad as everyone has been suggesting.
Forget the delay. You need some Kleenexes.
All right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Poor
Oh.
puppy.
Right?
All right. A puppy has just come out of a truck. Is traveling across the country.
Shades of Homeward Bound.
It's funny. I'm so glad you made it home. Because I just sold you on this website I built. Ship 'em out.
All right. That's not nice.
It's mean, right? Like, it's just mean. It's because you get so invested in the dog and you're like, it's running and then he's gone. And the thing about it is like, I thought it was mean and horrible and like heartbreaking. What I hadn't even caught was like the idea that it was a puppy mill situation.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So then you had people going crazy from the SPCA and others, of course, like they're promoting.
That's
puppy
been a
mill
big
laws.
issue across the country for the last several years. There have been state laws passed about it.
Right. And so that part just, but I was missed completely on that because I was just so horrified. The poor little puppy did all that to come home.
See, now here's the thing. Having heard the reaction to it, and it's unsurprising. Like if you want to irk people in this country, you know, animal cruelty or anything that smacks of animal cruelty or insensitivity, that will get people drawing their machetes and coming after you. Like few.
Oh, the
like
long
few of
knives
things
will be out without a doubt. Don't mess with people's dogs.
I guess I had pictured. You may recall National Lampoon magazine decades back had a famous cover image of a gun held to a dog's head, saying, "If you don't buy this magazine, we'll kill this dog."
Right. Yeah.
By the way, like if you think we're in an anything goes culture now,
We've
take a
always
look
been
back,
that way.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And we've always been that way.
So I guess knowing this, I was afraid like the puppy was going to come to a really terrible end or something like that. The fact that he's trapped at a puppy mill and he's just been sold online, I mean, that's not good. But
No, but it was just one of those because again, those shades of Homeward Bound. You're all invested
yeah.
in the dog, and he's so cute. Oh my god, cutest dog ever. And then that is just wow. You're like, oh, didn't see that coming. I'll give them credit on they didn't see that coming, and I'll give them credit on all of the free promotion they've got for it. But I will tell you, there is a very, very pet-friendly ad that's going to be coming out. It's already been leaked, so I'm going to go ahead and put it up on our Facebook page. With the Budweiser ad this year, they threatened, I should say, they threatened to take away our horses, which then they found out people were not happy about that, and clearly they've changed their mind and changed their strategy. And they've got a story of a lost dog and a horse that will actually make you cry. It's beautiful. Love it. I love Budweiser commercials. What can I say?
Now, did I see correctly? Was it Danica Patrick driving the truck that picks up the puppy at the end?
Yeah, that part I did not necessarily catch at the beginning of it, but does appear that Danica Patrick is driving the truck, yes.
And here's the thing. GoDaddy having established its reputation for one kind of controversy, it's interesting for them to go to the implied, if not animal cruelty,
Right.
not mistreatment of animals, perhaps being, there's a part of me that says go back to the TNA.
I'm longing for a simpler time when the bra strap breaks on the big boobed woman and everyone goes, I mean, those were the simple American days,
Yeah. All American values, exploitative commercials.
Oh, my God.
Well, okay,
I hate that word.
My next question to you, Mickey, because apparently Carl's Jr. has also gotten into the
Carl's Jr. and Hardee's are basically the same company for listeners who don't have Carl's Jr.'s.
Okay.
So they're basically the same. So what you find in their ads are generally a lot of meat and mostly, I wouldn't even say half naked. I'm going to go with mostly naked women. And doing
Jim and
things
Mickey
that make
show.
no sense in order to eat a burger
Yeah.
on TV. But they know their audience, which is the number one rule of marketing and advertising, and they know who they're going after. I mean, honestly, someone who wants to eat, a kale salad every day is not going to be going to Carl Jr.'s or to Hardee's to have one of they've got this thing that's like 3 burgers and 8 pounds of bacon and 7 kinds of cheeses on this ridiculous bun, and these hot, sexy women, including Paris Hilton over the years, have shoved these into their mouths and have ketchup dripping all over them, and for some men, this apparently is a turn on, so we go with it.
Yeah, I was gonna put having both genders represented here, Mickey. I'm gonna go out and say I stand second to no other man in my enjoyment of looking at the female form. All right, and I stand second to no man in my enjoyment of cheeseburgers. I gotta say, and I stand next to no man in my enjoyment of football. Even though as a Jets fan, I'm not really a fan of good football. But you put I'm not a huge fan. Like when I'm watching a football game, particularly if it's a game I care about, don't distract me with breasts. That is, it's like left brain, right brain.
It's more like high brain, low brain.
I do not want.
So, wait. Time out.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, we're going to stop here.
I'm going to be taking notes.
Because exactly, Dave.
Because I don't understand this at all.
Yeah, I'm going to need some clarification on how boobs and football don't mix.
What's your problem, Jim?
Probably, I'm going to attribute this to my long-standing opposition to multitasking. I have always believed in the power of focus. It's another reason why I've always turned down the invitations to the annual CPAC orgy. I believe in the power of focus. I am a single-minded individual. So if I want the cheeseburger, I want the cheeseburger. If I want the woman, I want the woman. All right? None of that mixing.
Some people
together.
like the mixing of the two together. There are whole groups that like the mixing of the food and the woman. So
I went to CPAC in 2012, and there are some breasts there, I hate to tell you.
There are.
Mine will be there this year.
Wonderful. And all right. So, Mickey, what's your thought on TNA themed commercials on Super
I have
Bowl?
no problem with it. Here's the thing. It is a very family-friendly event. So there are certain things, and I will tell you straight up that there are certain broadcasters and certainly the stations that carry it. They know the rules. They know what they can and cannot do. And a lot of them push to the absolute limit. But if you're really that concerned about, say, your kids or more importantly, you getting offended by it, commercials exist for a reason. Get up and go, refill your drink or whatever and come back.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be honest, I think having watched the game with little people around me the last couple of years, it's actually I don't think I've had much of an issue with that. I don't know whether those ads are airing during the pregame show or for whatever reason, they haven't been up on the radar.
They're usually usually you'll find them in pregame, buried in pregame, or in the fourth quarter.
Okay, the slightly cheaper ad times, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I would say it's the grand epic Hollywood blockbuster. That sometimes will depict, buildings exploding and generally a bit more violence than I'm comfortable my little guys watching. I'm a fan of superhero movies, action movies, all that kind of stuff. It would kind of be nice to have a uniform standard of what kind of ads. Like maybe we need like a family-friendly channel doing the Super Bowl, and then we need some sort of R to NC-17.
Don't give them any ideas. Soon the Super Bowl will be simulcast.
Well, they simulcast it in Spanish, right?
And in several languages, actually.
There you
Yeah,
go. So maybe there's a way to do that, because you think about it.
And all I'm telling you is they're just going to be able to sell more ad space.
Yes. So this is my idea.
There you go. And there's some account executive across the country who's writing this down right now.
Make sure you credit the Jim and Mickey Show, Mr. Ad Executive. I am Jim Garrity. That is Mickey White, and we will be right back after this.
It starts here with a lightly toasted bun, and then a pure beef hamburger, sizzling hot, a slice of cheddar blend cheese, and some crisp, fresh lettuce. Then, our own secret sauce. The club slice, toasted. Another hamburger. And a little more sauce just for good flavor. Crisp dill pickles and the sesame seed crown. This is the sandwich. McDonald's new Big Mac sandwich for the bigger than average appetite. McDonald's, you're going to play.
Welcome back to the Jim and Mickey Show. I am Jim Garrity, joined by Mickey White. And the last segment we were talking about the indisputably memorable, for good or for ill, television commercials during the Super Bowl. And Mickey, you had wanted to bring up what you considered one of the all-time classics, one that had always stuck with you years and years later.
Well, it's not just me that it's stuck with. In fact, it's one of the most recognizable and popular ads of all time. And that was a Nissan ad in, I believe it was the